And we're back. Apologize for that brief interruption. The only thing you missed was a kickoff. Of course, all you missed was a kickoff, and the Mountain Lions at a penalty in their favor, and they're now on the 37-yard line. Here's Cornett again, across the middle for about a gain of a yard on the play. Second down.
Gain of 1 or 2, no, just a yard. Second and 9 Knights, 38-yard line.
The Knights down by 13. What do they got to do here to be successful, Trent?
Get these bugs out of my face. They gotta get back into the passing mojo, because that's what was working for them in the first half of this game. And 82 looks a little confused over there.
So a little bit of confusion on the play as Warren scrambling around the pocket. Looks for the left side, fakes the pass. There's a flag down on the play, but Warren gets the first down. It's an illegal block in the back that they called on the offense. Excuse me, it's a holding call on the offense, so that'll bring the ball back 10 yards. So it'll still be second down.
10-yard penalty, second and 19 Knights.
You see what do they talking about the shirt? No. So here's Warren in the shotgun. Toss across the middle. Incomplete.
Oh, Warren.
Looks like it could have been a possible interception there for Justin Elugary.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd and 19 for the Knights.
Not successful. 3rd and 19 after the 10-yard penalty. The Knights just having a little bit of struggles here.
30-yard line.
Yeah, but they always have that breakout play in them. So, there's a few missed tackles here and a few broken tackles there, and they can get this first down. And you can hear Swane's head coach from here.
It's a very hands-on coach. As Warren does a reverse play, it's 82 of the Knights going on the left side, and he's met just short of the line of just a yard gain on the line of scrimmage. That was Jack James trying to take the rush, but the Knights will punt it away.
Reversed it to Jack James. Short gain on the play. Brings up 4th and 16.
It's looking more and more in favor of the Mountain Lions to potentially win this game, Trent.
Yeah, but you can't count on FCS. They're up here in the they're tied for first for a reason, so you can't count them out. It's still gonna be a hard-fought game. No matter how high the score is, they're all gonna be fighting. That's what I really like to see.
Here's Warren to punt it away. There's a very close chance of it being blocked there. It will go out of bounds at the 27-yard line. So the Mountain Lions back to work on offense.
To the Mountain Lion 18-yard line. No, 28-yard line.
Well, can't drink my Coke now. The Mountain Lions back on offense on their own 27-yard line. So here's Stensby handing it off, and 18 of the Mountain Lions going up the middle. Jack Simmons for a gain of about 3.
Hands off to
What I want to point out, number 1 Thaumes, I'm pretty sure, is dressed out to play this game.
Caden Dickerson in on the tackle.
I don't think I've seen him take a snap yet.
Well, Manuel Thaumes, the senior.
Play a
Brings
snap.
up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Manuel Thaumes, the senior, not having much action as we've seen throughout the game. I believe as Coach Hargis said, I believe that was one of his players that is injured and he doesn't want to work too much. It's a fake handoff, and here's Stensby on the left side, and it's Dustin Stensby again, off to the races, and he's in for the touchdown.
No flags on the play. Dustin Stensby in for his second touchdown.
The Mountain Lions just get another score on the board with 40.3 seconds left of the third quarter.
I don't know what to say. He had that good breakout play. He's done that either 2 or 3 times this game so far. You just got to meet him at the line. That's all I can really say. A little tip. I mean, the coaches know it as well. This is going to be fought in the trenches. I feel like Suwannee, this is where they win their battles. This is where they win their games, is in the trench. So you gotta stop it right there. If not, they can have that chance for the breakout, a couple missed tackles, a couple broken tackles, and they get that big run like that. And he has speed to get in front of everybody.
34-14, the extra point is good. A 20-point lead for the Mountain Lions with 40.3 seconds left in the third quarter. You're watching the Extreme Game of the Week on 8Man Extreme's YouTube channel, part of the Extreme Sports Network. The Mountain Lions kicking off here. They'll just boot it deep. And here's Frazier, just letting the ball go back. Here's Frazier weaving through. Frazier pulled from behind down to the 29-yard line.
Jaden Frazier carries about a 15-yard run to the Knights' 25-yard line. They'll take over 1st and 10.
So the Mountain Lions back to work on defense. The Knights looking for something on offense.
And 28 seconds left to go in the third quarter.
28.5 to be more exact.
26, 24.
Well, now it's running down now. It's interesting how they're starting it with the start of a drive after a kickoff. I'm not sure.
You can't say anything too loud because the ref is right over there.
Well, it's just interesting to see, you know. It's all a matter of rule interpretation. Here's Cornett running on the left side, and he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1 yard. And with that, the end of the third quarter, it's 34-14. The Mountain Lions leading the Knights in this MTAC Primetime Extreme Game of the Week. "12 minutes left on the game clock, and they've started it with the start of the fourth quarter. The Knights on 2nd and 10 as the field sides have been switched. Here's Warren looking for the pass. He's got a man rushing him. Good block by 34 as Warren scrambling around, almost stays on his feet, but a good sack by the Mountain Lions. It's number 9, Ben Matthews, the junior, managing to get that sack there.
Matthews for
so it's now 3rd down and 14. Just a big deep defensive play there for Ben Matthews.
Knights back up to their own 21-yard line. Timeout Knights.
Timeout called by the Knights with 11:29 left to go in the 4th quarter. It's a 20-point difference between Suwannee and Classical.
The game.
Play resuming after the timeout. Here's 3rd down and 14 as Warren tries tossing it across the middle, incomplete under pressure. So that'll make it 4th down, and the Knights will punt it away.
You're the coach from Suwannee. So 2 years ago, he got hit by one of his players and flipped over, and it made ESPN.
So Warren will punt it away, and it's blocked. And the Mountain Lions just let it bounce. That will go to the 36-yard line.
I'm pretty sure the big old 77 that touched
Warren
that.
punts it
That deflected that.
to the 36.
I'm not sure about the first deflection off of the pass.
There is a flag on the play.
I know for a fact that was him right there.
There's a flag on the play waiting on the officials' ruling for it. It's an illegal block at the back on the kicking team. That will move the ball up a little bit for Suwannee and likely to get another score to put this game away.
Illegal block against the Knights. Mountain Lions will take over in Knight territory.
Now if you're Suwannee, you want to just run this clock down.
Yeah, go with what we've seen them do in the previous games we broadcast for them, is just run the clock down.
Also known as their bread and butter.
Bread and butter. I like that analogy. That's good.
1st and 10 at the Knight 20.
That's what happens when you get Trent
7-yard
sleep deprived and without any caffeine in his system. He comes up with the best analogies. Maybe we should do that more for the broadcast.
You've never heard bread and butter?
No.
You need to get out more.
That's probably true. And here's a fake runoff. Here's Stensby going up the middle. He's brought down for a gain of 4 yards. Make that a 5-yard game, 2nd and 5.
I was going to say, now that we're approaching halfway through the season, we should
Tackled
bring
by
up
Josh
their
Sperry.
All-Star game is going to be in Dayton, Tennessee, if you'll want to come
2nd
watch.
and 5, Mountain
It'll be in
Lions.
Dayton, Tennessee, November 11th.
I believe it is November 11th, yes, and we'll be broadcasting that on YouTube, but you should come in person first to see your favorite players and such. The official draft for the All-Star game will occur about 2 weeks before. There's a flag thrown here, and still on his feet, that was number 44, Blaze Zettler, making a good rush there, but there's still a flag back at the line of scrimmage, it looks like. We'll get the referee's call here. It's a chop block on the offense, so that is a void. That is a void run. Bring it back for about for 2nd down, and looks like they'll bring that back to 2nd down and
10-yard penalty.
2nd down and 15, a 10-yard penalty. That was a good run there by Zettler. Either way.
No, it was within the chop block. Just bring it back. Should I bring up chop block? A chop block is what really hurt my left knee, and it hurts a lot when I play on it.
That's why they have it as a penalty. Did the person get called for it?
Probably not. Well, with Blessing Warriors, we never got calls. And you can take that for data. If you know Memphis
Yeah, no one can find us. No one can find you after saying that one. It's not like they could track you down and hunt you down for that. Third down and 15. No gain. No gain on the play. So the Mountain Lions on third down here and just running down the clock as we've seen them do.
If I'm FCS, I'm not saying I'm out of this game because you can get a touchdown, get the onside kick, get another touchdown, onside kick again, get another touchdown. They're still in it, but it's going to be really, really hard for them to get back.
And Zettler fumbling the ball a little bit and lost about 2 yards. Fourth down and it looks like 16.
Blaze Zeitler. We got fourth down.
Under 9 minutes left in regulation. This game has gone by pretty fast.
Yeah, and then clock seems like it's been running pretty normal paced football game. Not, SAS draining 7 minutes off the clock in just one drive.
Which we saw them do that against Bowling Green, and it worked out a little bit to their advantage as they got their first victory of the season after that.
Yep.
And a timeout called by Franklin Classical with 8:18 left to go in regulation. The Mountain Lions lead by 20.
I control the camera.
8:18 left to go in regulation. 20-point lead for the Mountain Lions over the Knights. And the Mountain Lions on fourth down and 12 here. It looks like they're not going to punt it away. They'll just rush it here. All right, they'll actually go for the pass here as Stensby deep toss across the middle, overthrown, intended for Bailey McLean. And the Knights will turn over on downs.
Knights will take over, turnover on downs. Pass intended for Bailey
Like I've been
McLean.
saying pretty much ever since I seen him starting to throw it, kind of after the first, going to the end of the second. I'm really happy that they're starting to throw the ball. Give it, give it a little bit more options to look at in the game rather than just running it. So maybe I can stop giving them so much against they don't throw the ball that much, because they're showing me now that they can throw the ball.
We're certainly seeing that as a rush here by Cornett, carrying the ball, switching across the field, almost a stiff arm there, slammed down by 21 Gabriel Stevens. That'll at least get a first down, but a great run by Eli Cornett. Can't say enough about this freshman and how dominant he's been.
Yeah, I mean, you got a freshman, you got the freshman Eli Cornett, and then you got the sophomore Josh Austin. If I'm a head coach of FCS, I am happy to see the future leaders of this team.
So just over 7.5 minutes left to go in regulation here as Cornett trying to, Pace trying to make the rush on that play.
Tackled by 52.
Second down and 8.
Justin Oguher. 2nd and 8.
For James Shannon, it is 7 minutes left to go in the 4th quarter. FCS is 14. SAS is 34. They're up by 20. FCS with the ball.
And that was a toss by Cole Warren to the right sideline. Looked like he didn't have anyone to pass to there. So 6:55 left in regulation. So Cole Warren and the Knights trying to get something here on 3rd and 8. And like you said, the Mountain Lions took 7 minutes at one time on their drive, or in one of their drives so far. They took 7 whole minutes to running down the clock, just rushing the play. It's very possible that the Mountain Lions could try that again here just to finish out the game.
Yeah, but I'm not going to count on FCS.
As a fumble by Warren scrambling around, and he's sacked in the backfield by Jarrett Willis. That's an unfortunate mistake there. And you spoke a little bit too soon there, Trent.
There's a fumble recovered by
just watch.
Cole Warren.
Just watch.
Brings up 4th and 13.
I don't think they're going to have a chance to come back. Let's be realistic.
6:35 and counting.
If they
on
do,
the
it's
clock.
going to be a miracle, and we're going to talk about it for weeks. But, you know, this is the point in time where you're coach. Get them plays you've been wanting to run. You've been running a little bit in practice, but you're not sure about. Get them plays in there. Run it. Try to see it, because this is the best way to practice against the live time, because if you know you're not going to have a chance to come back, use this. Get some young guys in there as well. But, hey, I wouldn't count them out.
Here's a toss over. There's Frazier.
Ball complete to Jaden Frazier.
And they will not get the first down.
Not enough for a first
just
down.
Short, so it's 1st and 10 for the Mountain Lions. They take over with 6 minutes, 2 seconds left in regulation. Likely the Mountain Lions will take the strategy here of just running down the clock with rushing plays. And I believe the Knights only have one more timeout, so there's not much they can do here. But we'll see how that goes throughout the remaining 6 minutes.
No, and I wouldn't be surprised if SAS figure out some way to run out the whole entire clock.
Which they've managed to do before in their home opener, or excuse me, their road opener against the Bowling Green Christian Academy Warriors. They had the rush to run down the clock there.
It seems like their specialty.
Yes, exactly. It's like, okay, good, we're leading by 20 points. Here's our specialty: run down the clock.
Inside handoff to Blaze Zeitler.
Here's 2nd down and 6 with a gain of 4 on the play.
Second and 6 Mountain Lions.
There's a Stensby handing it off, faking the handoff and going up the middle. Stensby pushing through. I believe he has the first down or just short of it.
He fakes the handoff, keeps his legs moving, gets the first down.
And they do give him the first down.
Ball's marked
And
at
they've already ran a minute out the
line.
clock.
First and 10 Mountain Lions at the 30.
They just got the first. I think it's time to get some of your young guys a little bit of burn in the game.
And that'd be a good thing for both sides to do, but I believe the Knights do not have many young players on there, but they do have some on St. Andrew Swanee. It's a rush up the middle here for a gain of about 5 yards. 2nd down and 5.
To number 9, Ben Matthews. Tackled by Caden Dickerson. Still 2nd and 6.
Don't wait for contact. Go get it.
So just under 4 minutes left to go. 34-14, the Mountain Lions leading over the Knights. And it looks like the Mountain Lions will stay undefeated for one more week, and the Knights will take their first loss of the season at home.
Okay, we don't know that yet, but I'm 90% sure that's going to
calls
happen.
timeout.
They're still at 10%. A pick 6 is able to happen. Then an onside kick.
Second of the half.
And then an amazing play, and then another onside kick.
That's why I said likely.
I don't think it's going to happen, but it's a possibility.
With 3:39 left to go in regulation, it's a 20-point lead for Swanee.
I played last.
.339 left to go in regulation.
Play resumes.
Here's Stensby giving the handoff. There's Zettler on the left side. He'll get the first down and
Inside
just
handoff
out of bounds at the 13-yard line.
Then he breaks to the outside.
So first and
left,
10.
and
The Mountain Lions
gets
in
the
the
first
red
down.
zone and continually keeping the clock. Well, the clock not running down yet at this
First
point,
and
but
10 Mountain Lions at
keep
the
that, just
14.
keeping it.
So is his,
A
real
running
name,
cross.
is his real name Blaze?
It's Blaze Zettler, yes.
That's a cool name.
That's the only thing you have to say about that run?
Yeah, that's a cool name.
Weekly analysis with Trent Legate. It's a cool name in MTech 8-bit football. And here's a rush up the middle for the Mountain Lions. That'll run the clock again on 2nd and 5, or 2nd and 6.
Again going to number 44, Blaze Zeitler. 2nd down. At the 9.
So the Mountain Lions, all they have to do is just rush it a few times here, and that will effectively
Inside
end the
handoff to
game.
Number 9, Ben Matthews. Maybe a gain of
We saw a good game at least for the
Lions
first half from what we
brings
saw.
up
It was just the Mountain Lions taking
third
that
and 3.
touchdown going into the second half kind of took the dominance for them there, Trent.
Mountain Lions.
Yeah, I
continue
mean, like,
to
once
run
you
the clock.
practice and practice and practice against, it's going to be run, it's going to be run, it's going to be run, and they bust out the pass plays. You weren't expecting that from SAS. So that was a good idea by the coach because I figured that he was saving it for a certain time and a certain occasion that he's going to want to shock and surprise the opposing team. And I think he chose it correctly because I don't think they were knew that they were going to
There's
throw
a
it as
fumble
much as they
play.
did.
Yeah, and of course we'll see how they
Knights
do
take
the
over.
remainder of this game. But the Knights do take
Minute
over
52
on
left
downs.
in
A
the
minute 52 left to go in regulation. But it's possible the Knights could
First and 2
try something here,
at the
because they do have
5-yard
20. They only have a 20-point deficit. It is unfortunately it's a 3-score game though.
4-yard line.
One thing I like to see is both these teams, and the reason why they are 2-0 is because they're 4-quarter teams. Because they don't get tired after the first half, and I like seeing that because that means you're gonna have a full game of non-stop pounding at each other.
Here's a rush on the right side by the Knights. There's Eli Cornett loose and brought
Eli
down at about the
Cornett
20-yard
Gets
line.
some running room. Takes it out to the 22.
Yeah, both teams came into this game 3-0.
First down.
And
Clock stops.
it's possible the Knights could try something here, but likely the Mountain Lions will go 4-0 exiting this game.
Well, I mean, with the clock stopping every first down that they get, it could work in their favor, unlike how it worked in the favor for Sewanee in the first half, second quarter, running it to the end of it. This could help them right here.
I'm wondering on that rush play why the clock isn't running, but of course it's up to the referee's jurisdiction as well as the scoreboard
Inside handoff
operator.
to
So
number
there's a
2,
rush there.
Eli Cornett.
And if the Knights want to try anything
Not
here,
much of a gain on the
you'd
play.
figure they would do a
Brings
hurry-up
up 2nd
offense,
down.
but it's one of those things
Now
that
the clock
8-man
runs.
football, you don't see that practice as much.
No, that's what I was thinking the same thing. But, you know, I think they're running out of time to do anything. But it would be nice for them to get a score. Get them, make the score look not as bad as what it was.
And we're going to head down to the field right now. We'll get the tripod set up. We'll head down to the field so we can get the post-match interviews and handshakes. We will stay live, but we'll have the camera muted, so don't be too distraught when you see our camera moving around so much. Right, let's go. Let's go. Hey, what are you-
Cole Warren keeps it. He's looking for the pass. Makes it past the 50-yard line all the way down to the Swanee 42. Clock stops with the first down.
Hurry up!
As they move the chains.
You're making it longer.
Because we're going to have to put it down on the field.
It's going to make it harder for me to carry.
All right, let's go.
Go, Caden!
Flag.
Caden Dickerson on the carry.
Yeah, I don't know. It was an update.
Looks like close to a first down.
We're good, we're good. Because I had to grab the hospital. So the final score, 34-14, the Mountain Lions victorious over the Knights of Frank. Go 4-0 exiting this game, undefeated in the South. And the Franklin Classical Knights will go 3-1 going into next week. So we'll get their post-game handshakes and warm-ups. Excuse me, post-game handshakes and their huddle here in just a moment.
There are a few concessions still left over. Please stop by and get a snack, get a good deal.
Great competitive space.
Help the seniors get to their senior trip.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. I thank you for giving us this opportunity to come out and play this great game. God, I thank you that we got to play a game where everybody tried their hardest. There was no smack talk or anything. Thank you for this great game. Hey, good job, guys. Good luck to y'all. Be careful.
That's the end of the post-game handshakes. We'll get interviews with Coach Seth Warrington and Coach John Hargis in just a few moments.
Thanks for back. Thank you. Hey, 11. Good press. Game one.
I don't even think that's the same.
Hey, Coach Hargis, you want to wait until you're done with your boys?
Guys, right here! Guys, right here!
Hey, go tell Coach Moore. So, ladies and gentlemen, the coach has given their post-game huddles and everything to talk to their players about the post-game. And we will get interviews with both of the coaches, and Trent and I will give our final analysis in just a few moments. 34-14, the final score. The Mountain Lions of St. Andrews Sewanee victorious over the Knights of Franklin Classical School, 34-14 here at Fred Lane Field in just about a 2-hour and 50-minute game, a little bit shorter than the regular time for football games. And it turned out to be a 1-hour first half, which is one of the shortest first halves we've had this whole season. And of course, this is all because of the rushing game by both teams, the Knights and the Mountain Lions. Both of them very aggressive on the rush game, very important about running down the clock and keeping that a priority for their offense. And of course, it went into halftime 21-14. The Mountain Lions led over the Knights just before halftime. As the clock expired, they got a rushing touchdown. And then the Knights, not a single score for them in the second half. So they fought in the first half, and unfortunately the second half, not so much. So now we got the coach. Come on over here. Come on over here, coach. Where's that big grin on your face, man?
I don't know.
So Coach John Hargis, you guys are now undefeated in the South and undefeated on your season. You're 4-0. what is going through your mind right now?
Well, hey, hats off to Franklin Classical School. They fought us hard, and I didn't expect what we got here tonight, but hey, we'll take it. We got to get back on the mountain. We got to work on some things that we made mistakes on tonight, and and we got to get ready for another Franklin team and Franklin Christian come Monday.
Yeah, and Franklin Christian right now across the street playing Lighthouse. They were dominating them, I believe, 26-6, the last score update we had there. And of course, you guys undefeated going in, and it's a big South game next week because winning that could essentially give you sort of a hard playoff berth per se. But that'll of course all depend. It's still one game at a time for you guys, right?
One game at a time. We're just going to work on getting better at St. Andrews Swanee football. Again, hats off to Coach Seth and them boys over there. They played us a heck of a game.
All right, thank you so much.
We can't pass now, okay?
Yeah. Trent was mentioning that on broadcast. He's like, I thought they couldn't pass, but I got to hand it to him. He's doing good offense and such. Okay. Yeah, Coach, thank you for your time. Have a safe travel back, man.
I appreciate everything 8 Man Extreme does. And hello back home.
Thank you, man. We appreciate it. We'll get an interview with Coach Seth Warrington in just a moment, and then Trent and I will wrap it up here from Fred Lane Field. And then we'll get you on to tomorrow's game where Bowling Green Christian Academy will be at the Tennessee Heat in Mount Juliet. James and Trent will have the call on that one. That game, I believe, starts Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to tune into that broadcast here on our YouTube channel. If you have not already subscribe, and when you do, click the bell icon so you can get notifications on your YouTube app and anywhere for whenever we go live so that you know instantly they're live, we can watch this game. So be sure when you hit subscribe, click the bell icon and opt in to receive all notifications from the 8 Man Extreme YouTube channel, part of the Extreme Sports Network. So as we said, Lighthouse, not sure what was seen in that game. James will talk about it on the show on Sunday, but they are being dominated by Franklin Christian across the street right now. About 26-6 was the last score update we got, and I believe that was in the first or second quarter. So Franklin Christian having a dominance over Lighthouse as of now. And of course, South Haven in a close game with Hendersonville up in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Now, we'll, of course, give score updates as Trent gets those on his phone, or, of course, if James says anything else to us. So I'll go ahead and get my face out of here, rotate to the FCS post-game huddle here. So they are Coach Seth Witherington talking to his team, making sure that they are fully aware, just giving them a full talk through about the loss being tough and what they need to do to continue on in this game, in this season. Not in this game. That would be it. The halftime huddle. So if you see on the camera there, Trent Legate just hanging out over there, waiting to get Coach Seth Witherington over. He's making sure that every single one of them guys on the Knights know what they're doing for practice next week, as well as going forward as a team. And once again, tomorrow's broadcast, the live from Mount Juliet. Tomorrow, the Tennessee Heat will be hosting the Bowling Green Christian Academy Warriors. James and Trent will have the call on that game tomorrow, live from Mount Juliet at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, only on the 8 Man Extreme YouTube channel. And we're still waiting on Coach Seth Witherington to come over here and give us his post-game interview and such. It looks like they are wrapping it up here in just a few moments. Of course, Trent and I are going to have some fun clearing off all the bugs from all of our equipment up there, because apparently all the bugs that were up on the spotlights were very irritating. I know I'm going to have to shower after this one with all the gnats and bugs that got in my hair. That's going to be a fun time for me tomorrow. So Coach Witherington going to be heading over here so we can get his post-game interview here. As you can see him walking on camera. All right, Coach. Not exactly the result you wanted. A 20-point loss, of course. I mean, you take your first loss on the season, but when you're telling the guys in the post-game huddle there, what were you telling them as sort of encouragement? What did you tell them to take going from this game?
Well, first of all, I told them I was proud of them. Yeah, our kids did not give up, and I feel like, my kids fought till the end like I asked them to do, I'm gonna take the blame on this one. I don't know if I had them prepared like I should have. So.
And you guys are going into your game next week. I didn't properly look at the schedule. Who are you guys going against next week?
We go down to Webb next week, and it's going to be another. It's probably going to be another dogfight.
Yeah, and you guys, although you have one loss on the season in the South, you could possibly win against Webb and solidify a playoff berth per se going into the season, of course. But 3-1 isn't so bad of a record to look at compared to the rest of the teams in the conference as well. But of course, with Webb, they're 1-1 as they lost their game to New Life. I believe last we checked, they were leading one of the North teams, I believe, at their stadium. I think 36-0. I believe they're going against Hendersonville or Riverside, one of the two. But we don't have a full scoring update on that. But of course, with Webb, you're just telling them be ready for anything.
We got to be ready for anything. I've been in communication with their coach. We're going to exchange some film and look at each other and what they're going to try to do. But, at the end of the day, we got some things we probably need to fix. We got to go out and play football every week. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be a conference game. It's important. The great thing about football, and this is what I just told my kids too, the greatest thing about football is, as bad as this hurts right now and as bad as they wanted to win this game, they wake up tomorrow and they got a brand new opponent. And you get to go do it again. And there's a lot of guys, a lot of people out there that would love to be in the position to do that and don't get the chance. And we got to take advantage of our opportunities.
Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Best of luck next week.
And thank you guys again for being here. We appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you all.
All right. Trent and I will do a last analysis here. Now, Trent, the score says 34-14. Some could mistake that for potentially a blowout or just one team taking dominance and the Knights fighting back. For specifically what you saw in this game, what can both of these teams, what can the Knights take from this game going in a positive way, and what can the Mountain Lions improve on going into their game next week against FCA?
They should be happy, both teams. They fought to the very end. That's all you can ask as a head coach. You heard them. That's all you can ask as a coach. Fight till the end. Give it your all, 100%, because the coaches ain't gonna be mad if you give it your 110%. And my always theory was I play football until someone has to drag me off the field. That's when I'm done playing. So that's my analogy, and I agree. I believe Sewanee fought to the end. FCS fought to the end. I like this game because no one stopped. We always see these blowouts, and this to me isn't a blowout compared to other games I've been to. Like college, this could be a blowout. In the NFL, this could, but not high school, because there's always there's like 70-point blowouts and 60. So this is a real close game actually, and if you want to look at it that way. But I liked how both teams kept on fighting. I really liked how Sewanee added in their throwing game. I wish I could assist them to their head coach before he left. But yeah, and you heard the coach also say, like, it was he blames himself for not being more strict during practice, not getting them ready, and that's just little things like that go a long way.
And now we look forward to tomorrow's game. You and James will have the call on Bowling Green Christian Academy. The Warriors travel down to face the Tennessee Heat. From what we've seen about those teams, the Heat, no wins on their season yet. Bowling Green got their first victory against Madisonville last week. It's hard to say because both of these teams have had their struggles throughout the season, and they haven't had as much momentum or any force going in. But Bowling Green, the travel may be a fatigue for them a little bit, but it's very interesting to see that they have momentum going from Madisonville, of course, but also the Heat. They're more hungry for the win as well. What do you expect to see from that game?
Well, okay, we just watched Sewanee play. They are number one right now. You remember when we watched Bowling Green play Sewanee? If they are able to keep it that close, one touchdown game against Sewanee, the number one in their division, that's scary to go up against. And the Heat, after they lose some key players, that just sucks, but I just got to say how it is. But, we talked to the coach. They seem ready. They seem willing to keep on going. They're not going to lay down, unlike some others I already have. They're going to keep on fighting, and I'm interested to see the game because I haven't seen Heat play this year because I wasn't able to go to the games that we've broadcast for them. So this will be my first time seeing the Heat play in person.
Yeah, and the Heat game, that'll be the first time you've seen them in person. James and I will be the second time as we broadcast their Knights Heat game, which It wasn't a blowout per se, but the Knights did rack up points quick, and the Heat tried fighting back, of course. And that's the second Extreme game of the week, broadcasting tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time here on the 8-Man Extreme YouTube channel. For Trent Legate and our manager, crew chief, James Shannon, I'm Spencer Thompson. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night, everyone.